Welcome to Beautifully Unfiltered, the Purple Runway Podcast. The Purple Runway Podcast is about breaking the silence, honoring truths, and creating honest conversations that lead healing and advocacy and empowerment. For too long, the stories of domestic violence, especially those rooted in trauma, silence, and survival, have been hidden behind closed doors, and we're here to change that. So welcome to Beautifully Unfiltered, the Purple Runway Podcast, and let's walk with purpose together. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to episode 3 of my inaugural podcast, and I have an amazing person here with you again today. So as I've mentioned before, it's been this first few episodes are people that are very, very important to me in so many different ways because they fill the growth that I have found myself in to be able to even be here. So thank you guys for tuning in to this inaugural edition. I am going to introduce you to Susan Furr. She is an amazing artist, and I'm going to pass it over to her. So you're going to learn a lot more about her, but I want her to share her journey with you because she has something that she has built within that has impacted me in a very short period of time, and I wanted to make sure that I share this wonderful lady with everyone, and here we go. So Susan, welcome.
Thank you, Gigi, and thank you for having me today. I really appreciate you asking me to be here.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you're here. And you know what? It has been a week since I've seen you, right? Has it been a week?
2 weeks, almost.
It's been that long? 2 weeks since I've seen you. And the last time we were together, we were just relaxing and stretching and breathing and potlucking.
Yeah.
So it's so good to see you again.
Yeah, that was awesome. We had an amazing time that day.
Yes, we did.
Doing some yoga together. So that was a lot of fun.
Yes, with other amazing women.
Yeah.
And it was much needed. That's what a lot of them said.
Absolutely.
To each other, it was much needed. So I want to, kind of figure out how we met. Janae, you remember Janae with the chamber?
I know Janae Monroe.
Were you the one that was helping me train that day with the kids? That wasn't you?
No.
Not helping me train, but you were in that space. Okay, I did.
When she was she in the high school?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what? I meant to ask you that all the time, and I was
I was painting with the kids at the high school.
Yes. And then I did the one word with them.
Yes.
I was like,
that's where we met.
That's where we met.
Okay.
And then, matter of fact, you know what I remember? And this just came back. What was it? My word for that year was float. And was it you that when I was introducing and talking to the kids about what have you,
and
you
had float on?
Yeah, and you had the DJ do the float. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
see,
that was me.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't remember if that was her or not.
It was me.
It was a busy day, but we had a good time. You did the artwork, and I did the messaging affirmation for the artwork. Oh my goodness.
Because we collaborated that day. We didn't even realize we collaborated.
We didn't even realize it. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, God is so good. I mean, so much stuff happens that we forget where we meet people.
Exactly.
We're constantly meeting new people. That's amazing.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you for remembering, because I completely forgot I even did that.
And you know what, to be quite frank, I thought about it. I was like, I think that's her, but I was concerned with asking you because I was like, that would be rude if you didn't remember. And then I was like, now I know Susan good now. I'm going to ask her that question for sure.
That is awesome. I'm glad you asked because I was thinking we just recently met, but that was like a year ago.
I think it was longer than that.
Was it longer than that?
Yeah, I think it was longer than that. But even still, that was a great day.
It was.
That was a great day.
Yeah, Janae was. She does some amazing things with those kids.
With the kids, she really does. And that's the beauty of networking here in the area. But today we're here to talk about you and your innate talent. And so, as I said, I don't know completely what I'm doing here, but I know I'm growing, right?
Right. We're growing together.
Yeah. And so, as I was thinking about the inaugural people that filled a particular pot for me to get through these first episodes, what came to me, of course, is who Susan is and who you are and all those good things. And I came up with a title for each one of our conversations. So your title is Painting a New Chapter.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because of the artwork you do. So, and I want to handle yours a little different. So, your questions that I wanted to answer is because I wanted it to fall in through the 4 pillars. As I've explained to, my community and others, I'm still working my own program. Me being here doing this inauguration right now is me growing into my into the next chamber of who I am. And although sometimes you go kicking and screaming, God opens up a door and here we are. And, what am I going to tell him?
Sometimes it's like, look what you ask God for.
Right, he just might give it to you.
Uh-huh.
But, and sometimes it feels like the other layers of growth for me were much easier, not much easier, but easier than this one because, for whatever reason. And so building that program, I use it in a couple different ways. As a life coach and then as a personal style coach, is that I take each and every person through a reflect, realign, redesign, and renew. Those are the 4 pillars of growth throughout the program. And with you, I didn't approach this inauguration like anyone else, but I knew within art, or I hope I'm right, within art, that you could help me explain what that looks like as someone who has gone through things, as we all have, and have overcome. And being the artist that you are and teaching people through the reflect, and then a section for realign, redesign, renew. So my first question for you, in the reflect, talking about painting a new chapter, do you remember the first time you felt connected to art, that it was more than just a hobby? And what was happening in your life at that time?
Yeah, I think for me, it was around 2019, COVID. When we went through COVID and people were shifting. Because like I told you before, I was doing Mary Kay. I've done Mary Kay. I'm a consultant with Mary Kay still today for over 20, this is my 22nd year. And I got to a point where I felt my daughter became a musician. And I helped her with her journey to becoming a musician, and she got signed to a label. And during that journey, I would take her to her gigs. And there was a lot of young people there, a lot of creatives. And I was just sitting there one day and thinking, I know I can do something, and I felt like I needed something more. I loved my Mary Kay journey, but I came to a point where it's like, I didn't feel like I was a business owner of my own business. And I wanted something that was solely mine. 100% mine. And so while I was with my daughter, I saw these young people creating music, poetry, art, all kinds of things. And I sat there and I was just like, God, I know I can do something. And I heard that small voice say, draw faces. And I was just like, but I don't know how to draw faces. And it was like, well, just draw a face every day. So I went on this journey where I was going to do 100 faces in 100 days. And that was something that I took from Mary Kay. We used to facial 30 people in 30 days. That was our mission. So I went on this journey to practice. So I practiced for 5 years, drawing a face every day for 5 years. And they were bad. I mean, they weren't good. They were like Picasso's. But I wasn't going for that. And so I would post them on social media just to see what my friends would say. And they were giving me lots of great instruction. Susan, the eyes are supposed to be together, on the same line. And so I practiced and I just kept drawing every day. And it was 2019 where I had drawn this picture and it was kind of ugly. And I knew it was ugly. I gave it to my kids and they were like, we don't want that, So I was like, 2019 came and I hadn't put any color on my canvas yet. Everything was pencil or charcoal.
Oh, it was so that's sketching.
Yeah, just sketching. And so I finally one day said, you know what, let me get this ugly piece of art that nobody wants. And let me put some paint on there and see what happens. Because I was really afraid to put paint on the canvas. And I put paint on there and I put it on social media. And somebody said, how much do you want for it? Yeah, that's what I was like. And I said, $300. And I quickly handed my husband my phone and I covered my eyes and I said, tell me what she said. And we waited for a few minutes and my husband said, she said sold. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually sell art, make art that people really want, this art. And it just blessed me so much. And this lady ended up buying, I think, 5 pieces from me after that one initial piece. And I was very shy and I was very fearful in my past life, and what this gave me confidence. It gave me confidence that I could do something and I could have that business that God told me I could have, and have 100% of the profit would be mine. Mm-hmm. And so from that day, I just continued. I still was drawing a face every day. Still to this day, I still draw or paint a face every day. And it's just keeping that daily discipline, and then I just saw where people wanted the art. People started commissioning me to do portraits and family portraits and different things like that. And so that was the switch. That was the light bulb moment for me to say, you know what? You've practiced enough. I think it's like a real artist has to have like 10,000 hours. And I was in my late 50s at this point. And I was just starting this artist journey. And it was like, I can do something that myself, my Susan self, the child in me would have said, don't try it. You're going to fail. You're not going to be successful. They're going to laugh at you, and so I had to ignore those voices inside of me and just take that quantum leap and just take that leap of faith and just say, okay, I'm going to put myself out there. And I was open to criticism. I was allowing people to look at what I did, and I didn't mind if they criticized it because I was telling myself they were helping me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's absolutely beautiful, because for the work that I've seen you do and how people are attracted to that artwork, that self-taught skill, and the dedication that it takes. And then it's not only, and through your art, you speak to women and they come to your group every other week. And one thing that I've learned about you in such a short period of time is you're the type of woman which encourages me. And this is the reason why I just adore you, because I can tell when you put your mind to something, you're determined, and you're going to stick to it. You're going to stick to what you say, and you're going to stick to what you do. And I felt that from not the moment we met, obviously, the next moment that we met. And that's a beautiful thing for you to be able to. I don't usually lean towards the word criticism, but constructive feedback. You are open to that, even to the criticism part of it.
I had to be open to it because before, as a child and growing up, when someone said something negative to me, I would just feel it. It was like someone cut me with a knife, and so I knew at that point I had healed from that past trauma, or I'd healed because I was able to receive it and not be shut down and not go hide, not cry about it, but take it like this is constructive and it's going to help me. It's going to help me to grow, and it did. Yeah.
Well, that was a part of our reflection, and now I want to talk to you about realigning. And so you've created a vibrant space, okay? And I really believe because of your art and because of your spirit, you have realigned that into that amazing space that you've created with the women. It's called Epic Women Empowerment. And you have women of all ages, all backgrounds within their business and the levels and everything. What made you want to build that? And how did you get through that?
I think for me, it's Epic Women Entrepreneurs. I had been networking in this area for 20 years. And a lot of times when I would go to these different networking events, I just felt like I wasn't seen. I either wasn't seen or I wasn't heard. And it could have been me. I'm not blaming anybody else, because I do come from a background where I was very shy. I was kind of introverted. And so I would go to these events and, at times you couldn't even get a conversation started, or somebody would give you their card and just start telling you all about them.
Overwhelming.
Yeah. And then I realized they didn't even ask me what I do. Right. I'd go home and I'd have all these business cards. And I said, not one of these people have asked me.
I don't know
what
any
do
of
I
these
do?
people.
Yeah. And so I decided after years of networking, and I've met some wonderful people in networking. Definitely. But I don't think they really knew who I was. They knew I sold Mary Kay, but that was about it. They don't know that I'm ordained. They don't know, there's a lot, unless I put it on social media, they didn't know, right? And so I decided one day I needed to start my own group. And I wanted to start a group where women could come and be vulnerable. They could be accepted and loved. They would feel love and belonging. Because if you know my personality, I hug everybody.
Yes.
Right? So I wanted people to be able to come in and get a hug. If you're coming off the street and you've had a hard day or a crappy day, that I was there to greet you with a hug. And the wonderful thing about it is now the group, everybody hugs in my group, you know. And so, but I started this group, and when I first began it, nobody was coming because everybody wants an established networking group.
Of course.
And so when they came to my group, it was not established. People would pop in and they'll see 2 people there, or they see 3 people there. They say, I'll be back next time. And they didn't
Never
show up. Never showed back up. Never showed back up. We're too busy, you know. And so then 2 people came. I put it on Eventbrite, and a young lady came from DC, Washington, DC, all the way to Virginia to come to this meeting. And I was just like honored that she even took the time to come.
Right.
And she came, and a real estate agent came. And the real estate agent, who is my good friend now, Belle, said, you know, all these networking groups, they've already got established real estate. There's no, you know, everybody has like 2 or 3 real estate agents. And I said, well, if you continue to come to my group, you'll be the only one that's a real estate agent there. And so from there, it just grew. Those 2 women stuck with me. They were the first 2 to stick with me. And then from there, it just got addition, you know. And I think it was, I decided to make it a group where women felt loved. They felt important when they came into the door. And they also could talk about their business. And I wanted it to where we could collaborate with each other. Not just you have your business over here and you're the real estate agent, so you can work with the insurance broker, or you're this and you can work with this. We could all work together. Right. You know, we could all bring something together. And it was just a beautiful connection. And I really feel like God was inside of that group. It wasn't just Susan, it was God. And he brought the right people together.
He sure did. And one thing that I love about your community, because, and again, I look to you for that, because building the self-love community is all women, any woman, no matter where you are, to be able to come pour into one another. And you welcome me into that group, and I enjoy being there. And you hold each person that comes, you ask them, what are you going to do to hold yourself accountable until we come back again? And some people may think that's small, you know, a lot of groups do that, but you all literally verbatim.
We do accountability, and each week at the end of the meeting, we ask them, you know, we go back over their goals from the previous week to see if they had accomplished anything. And like I said to them, no one's going to spank you if you don't get it, get it accomplished. But there's something about being accountable that makes you want to do what you said you're going to do. You know, we all want to be women of integrity. We want to say what we mean and mean what we say, That's right? And so keeping that accountability, we post it on our Facebook group at the end. We'll post everybody's goals so the whole community can see that person's goal.
I know, I saw it. I was like, oh!
Yeah, but there's no shame if you don't, there's no shame if you don't get that goal done. Take it to the next.
But see, that's the thing is that it was all of those details. That's why I said verbatim. You all have that information there. But if you can't, you just
roll it over
to the next time.
Roll it over to the next time. But the main thing is that you've put it out there.
But you put it out there.
You put it out there
in a place where you feel comfortable and secure and supported, whether you do it or you don't.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what I.
And then when you do it, we celebrate you. We celebrate each other. You know, we cheer for each other. And I think some of that was brought over from Mary Kay, because Mary Kay was very big on women celebrating other women and making women feel important.
Right.
And so that's what you give what you want. I wanted to be in a community where I felt important.
That's right.
You know, when we had 2019 happened, COVID happened, a lot of the network marketing businesses, they kind of shut down or they went to social media. They were doing parties, Mary Kay parties on social media. Well, I didn't really get into that. That wasn't my thing. So I needed a community, because all of my female friends now were working from home and we were not coming together. So I needed a community, and that's when I decided to put Epic together. It was way after 2019, but I decided to put the Epic Women Entrepreneurs together so I could get together and connect with women and just get that part of you feel. I don't have sisters in this country. All my sisters live in England. And so that's a big part of me that was missing, is having sisters that I could just spend time with, you know. And so to meet these women every other week and just spend time with, a big part of that is breaking bread together. We eat together. That's a big deal. People don't understand how important
if you choose to break bread with someone and eat with someone and spend time like that, you get to know them at a different level.
Absolutely.
And that is absolutely one of the best parts. And then and the food, and even if we're in a space that doesn't serve the food, then everyone brings the food together. Yeah. And as humans, one thing that with all, the digital things that are replacing that kind of connection, I think we lose the root of who we were created to be. Right. We are humans that we're supposed to connect with one another. And, sometimes people feel like they can't find a community. I'm telling you now, this is a community for you. The Self-Love Club is a community for you. But it's very important to, if you feel like you need people to sit there and listen and talk to you, it's communities like EWE and Self-Love Club that we're here, and that's what we want to do. We need that community. We all do. Community.
And they also, in doing business together, once we've broken bread with each other and we've gotten to know, we go to each other's houses, and have meetings. Like the yoga was at somebody's house.
Yes.
And then we had a full-on brunch up there too. Brunch. And so it's just, we work with each other, we help each other, we work with each other's businesses and support each other's businesses. The whole collaboration thing. One of the ladies, Margie, wrote a book. She asked me to do the illustration of the book. She had somebody else do the balloons for her, her opening. She had somebody else do, everybody had a part in her book and the launch of her book. Yeah. And it's just amazing to see how she's catapulted from that,
Yeah, she's like sold to a school or something like that. She's amazing.
By 300 books and, it's just amazing.
It's basking in the sisters and the group's success.
And we all get to celebrate.
We all get to celebrate. Yeah. I'm new there, but I'm definitely there. And I'm definitely there.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just, it's a wonderful thing. And I think everybody in there has a function in there.
Yeah.
And I tell them it's not my group. It's our group.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I've been in a lot of groups where people, they're very, this is my group,
hierarchy.
Yeah. It's not like it's our group.
Yeah.
And so I have other people that, like Belle, she stepped up and she helps to organize the events that we do.
Belle's amazing.
She's amazing. She's a love.
Yes.
She's a love. I just love her.
Yeah.
And that's why you end up loving people, know, and you genuinely love them. It's not just you're saying, I love this person because they scratch my back.
Yeah.
And no, you love them because they poured into you.
Yeah. And you can feel this the authenticity of each and every person that I have seen there.
And like you said, it's all different ages.
It's all different ages.
We got a 27-year-old
that are teaching us something, and the older, more refined people are teaching them something.
Absolutely, wisdom, right?
Wisdom, exactly. Absolutely. So that brings us to redesigning. Okay, what does redesigning your life mean to you, especially as a creative woman? So that kind of connected with what we're just talking about, is pouring into the youngers and giving them wisdom. What does that mean as a creative woman to you?
As a creative woman, redesigning to me means, I always think of like a canvas, right? Mm-hmm. I love to paint. I paint a lot. I have a lot of canvases at my home. Some of them, when I look back at them, I'm like, wow, did I paint that? It looks so good. And then there's others like, I need to paint over that, but I'm not afraid to paint over that canvas.
That's right.
Because when we redesign, it doesn't mean that we shut off our past or we forget who we were. It's that we build on top of that foundation. And sometimes it's a crappy foundation, right? It's not the best. You're not happy with how things went in your life. I have times when, when I was growing up, I was not happy with what happened in my life. But when I look back at it now, I'm thankful that I went through that because I've come out on the other side. So it's just like having a blank canvas and you're going to redesign that canvas, or having a canvas that already has some artwork on it, but you don't really like that artwork. Instead of just throwing it out, paint over it.
That's right.
You add to that canvas. And I love, when I do my artwork, I love to get old books and tear pages out and stick them on there. And then I love to put some pencil marks on there or some, just keep adding on top of that one canvas till it comes out to a beautiful piece of art, and so you don't have to get rid of everything. You just build on that as redesigning. It's like when you redesign a home.
That's right.
You still keep the foundation and some of the elements in the home that you like, and you just add to that.
Add to it.
Yeah, you add to it. And then now you can live your truth in it. So you can now be that person that you were supposed to be, and you shine in that space that you've now redesigned. Yeah.
You know, it reminds me, I did a workshop, and one thing is the Japanese culture.
Mm.
They appreciate everything. So just because something is broken doesn't mean it's worthless.
Yes.
And that comes in where the kintsugi comes in. So kintsugi is a way, so what you do is if you break a plate or a dish or a bowl or something like that, they mold it back together.
Mm-hmm.
And those, where the cracks were, they just fill it in with, I can't remember the kind of things, but it molds it back together and it brings it back anew, and it's still usable, but it just has beautiful scars.
Yes.
Okay. You're going to go back to that and you're going to say they fill the cracks with gold.
Oh, gold.
So what the kintsugi, what happens when you fill it with gold is non-perishable. So whatever you
that's
yeah.
whatever you attach together with gold, it stays. The scar is there, but the learning is going to last.
Okay.
So that's the go back.
All right. Okay, so that is one of the beautiful things that I learned, and I was going through this learning series with a group of women for the first time. First time I did it, but I came across it. It was called kintsugi. Okay. It's a part of the Japanese culture. How just because something is broken or old, it does not mean that it's you throw it away, and they refurbish things and they reshape things. So they will take the the pot, the cup, or a bowl, and they will reconstruct it. And what they will do is the broken pieces, they will reseal those broken pieces with gold.
Wow.
And it's not old, it's just renewed.
Yes.
And even though you see the bruises, you've seen what it's gone through, it's just as beautiful because it's been mended with something that is unbreakable.
Nice. Wow. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So we definitely should probably do one of those at EWE.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, because I've only done it one time, but that one time was very impactful. And you go through this exercise along with explaining those steps. And, you know, some women had very little tiny pieces of the bowl that they were able to get back on or not. And, but those little teeny tiny pieces, I don't remember exactly what she said, and I wouldn't tell her story anyway, but that little tiny piece, she wanted to make sure it was bonded again on there for whatever reason, that particular piece, because she said it's like a thorn. Wow. And bonding that piece back onto that cup was like pulling that thorn out for her because it was so little. And it's like, why do you need that piece? You know, it's on the inside of the cup or whatever, the gold is going to bond it, but she wanted that piece, that little piece there, because the cup had like a rim on it when it broke. And then, so the blue came back, but that one piece right there, she wanted to find it and mend it there. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. I love that. I'm going to have to use that.
Yeah. I mean, but you're doing that with that canvas, and that's because of what you said about that canvas reminded me of that exercise that we went through. It was beautiful. Okay. So let's talk about renewing. Okay. What brings you renewal now? Are there daily creative practices that help you to help people help you fill your cup?
Yeah, absolutely. Renewing for me is spending time with people, but really quality time with people. You know, a lot of times in a lot of these networking groups, we do what's called a one-to-one, right? Or sometimes people don't even do their one-to-ones, but they're important because you're really not going to know someone until you actually spend time with them. So just hatching out some time in my schedule to make sure that I'm connecting with people, not just connecting with them on the telephone or sending a text message, but actually getting together for a cup of coffee. And what I love to do is I love to reach out to people on social media. And I do this with a lot of people, even if I don't know them. But, you know, you have so many people in your feed, right? Yeah. So what I do on a daily basis is I will go into my social media feed. And if I see someone, I would just reach out and say, hey, you know, we've never met, but we've been friends for like 5 years. Would you like to connect with me for a cup of coffee? And we can have that cup of coffee either in person.
That's amazing.
Or we can do it on Facebook. FaceTime.
I would have never thought of that.
FaceTime, yeah. That's
great.
Because we've got thousands of people that are our friends on social media, but we don't know those friends, you know? Yeah. And so it's a great way for me to reconnect. It's just, you're out there, I'm out there, you're watching my social media, you're liking all my posts, but we've never had a conversation.
Okay, yes.
And then, so I do that. Another thing that I love to do as far as art is just challenge myself.
Mm-hmm.
Daily challenge myself to do something that I'm not used to doing. Like right now I'm doing flowers.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that.
Oh, you're doing a great job with those too.
This is round 2 of the flowers. The first time I was not happy at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the sad thing is that people bought it. They purchased some of those paintings that I did.
They're perfectly imperfect.
Yeah, exactly.
To you, but they're perfect.
Yes, and it tells a story for them.
Yes,
that might not even
resonate to you.
Yeah. So, I challenge myself. If there's something that I cannot do or I want to learn, I do like 100 days of learning or 30 days of learning how to do this. And the reason with the flowers is I'm doing a mural for someone on their wall, and it's 22 feet high by 12 feet across.
Oh,
and they want flowers. And so this week I've just been painting flowers for the last 2 weeks. I've been painting flowers and just practicing, and I'm posting them on Facebook, and you see the responses. Yeah. In my mind, I'm looking at it thinking it's not good, and everybody is like, oh, "This is amazing," And so learning to challenge myself to do something that's uncomfortable each day. Yeah. Just because that's growth. Yeah. When I do succeed at it, and I've grown in that area, I've mastered that area that was like a weakness for me, and just making it a strength. Yeah. So find something that you want to accomplish in your life, but to you it's very difficult. And a lot of times we go to the easy things and we get the easy things done first, right? Yep. Because we know that we're going to get over, even if it's a little challenging, we'll do. We're like, it's challenging, but I'm going to get that. I can do this. I can do that. But then the thing that's really big and that's been uncomfortable and that's sitting, the ugly thing in the corner, tackle it. Like you eat an elephant one bite at a time. One bite at a time. Just take your time and find something that makes you uncomfortable and work on it. Chip it away until it's comfortable, till you've mastered it. Yeah. And that could be painting. It could be, learning how to paint your nails. You might want to learn how to do the designs. You don't have to keep going to the nail shop. Yeah. Just work on something that makes you uncomfortable, that you think is maybe using the creative side of your mind. Yeah. You're using the left brain all the time. The right brain is the creative side. And sometimes you, like you were sharing about being on camera and being in here. Yeah. But you're doing it, you're working on it, and you're going to be so much more successful doing it, and it's going to become part of your nature. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. I'm challenging myself right now by doing this with some amazing people who are helping. But this is my canvas right now, and it's just like, everybody has their own canvas. Everybody has their own canvas. I agree with that. And the thing is, this is my one-on-one, my space to do one-on-ones. And you're killing 2 birds with one stone. Yeah. Awesome. So I'm kind of getting used to that, and I'm learning from really good people. And another thing before we go, as you know, I do personal style, and I teach like the dynamics of that. And I must say, even though we didn't talk today, look at us. We matched. We did great. I love earrings are kind of like the same. You see? Yep. I love that dress. I love the cut. And it's so flowy. And it's so hot today. So it's perfect, right? It's perfect. Yeah. It's a perfect dress. So the last question I have for you is, and then after that, I want you to talk to the people as we close the show up. So the last question is, one of the things that I have done and that is very important to me is music. And so while I was thinking about Susan and bringing Susan here and all the great things that I know that she's done for me that we may not even talk about and learn today, and how you can pour into others. And the title of your podcast is Painting a New Chapter, right? So music is so important. And although everything that we talked about today, we laughed about today, aha moments today, I want people to be able to feel Susan as they review this. So if there was one song that you could name that we're going to put in the description so they can go listen to it to really hear and feel Susan, that's something that speaks of her, what would that song be? I think for me, it probably would be, and this is the funny one, it played yesterday on the radio, and I love this song. It's called One Nation Under a Groove. kind of like
Get it down,
I know. I love to dance. Susan loves to dance. Sometimes you'll see me on TikTok.
I haven't heard that song ever.
But I love that song. Is that George Clinton?
I am so bad with the artist, but I know the song
and
and doing everywhere.
Under a group, and I tell you why, because I was born and raised in London, England, right? And I came to this country, and when I grew up, it was always a melting pot. Everybody was together, all colors, all nations, all creeds, and that's kind of like epic. Epic is not just black or white or it's everybody. Everyone. So when I think about Susan, I think one nation under a groove.
That is so perfect, so perfect,
and just dancing and having fun. Yep. That's how my inner child be just like going crazy right now. Trying to bust out there and do a move. But that's
what we did the Bodyoki.
I love the Bodyoki.
Oh my gosh, we had so much fun at Bodyoki.
We had an event with you called Bodyoki, and we all thought we were gonna be dancing together as a group.
Right?
You put us on the spot.
No,
we all did our little performance.
But it was good. We got to bring that to Epic Women.
Yeah, that would be
I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much, Susan, for being here.
Yeah.
And if I want you to close out, and what would you like to leave everyone with today as they move forward and while they're balancing how they're going to paint a new chapter of their lives? Because we're all painting a new chapter every season or every day, really. But what would you like to talk to them
I would
about?
like to just say, as you paint a new chapter in your life, don't get caught up in all the small details. Sometimes as artists, we want to use like a small brush. Get a big brush. You cover more space with a big brush. So don't spend time looking at all the little things that hold you back, and just paint a bigger picture with a bigger brush, and just see yourself achieving the things that you set out to achieve instead of making those little small things hold you back, because you were born for greatness. We were all created to be great. We come from a creator who created us in his image. So we all have a creative voice. Mm-hmm. So just let your voice speak on your behalf and stop hiding, shine.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. So that's it for today. We're down episode 3 of the inaugural podcast. And I really want to thank everyone for being here with me. Also, we're going to be dialing in next week and for our next broadcast, and I can't wait to bring that person to you. But for today, I really, really appreciate Susan being here, teaching us the beauty of broad brushing.
Thank you.
The broad brushing, and then to be able to paint our own stories and taking time out, but ultimately community and finding our voice and finding that community. So I really appreciate you. I can't wait to have you back, and I can't wait for my next meeting at Epic with you.
Thank you so much. Me too.
All righty. You guys have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you the next time. Bye-bye. This podcast is an extension of Purple Runway, where we honor survivors, celebrate their courage, and amplify the voices that are often go unheard. Whether you're a survivor, a supporter, an advocate, or someone still finding their way, you're not alone, and this space is for you.
Thank you for listening. The Beautifully Unfiltered podcast is brought to you by...
One of the things that keeps great leaders up at night is how to take a solid team and make them better. Well, we can help you figure all that out. Learn as a team, grow as a team, and have fun doing it. At Blue Stallion Solutions, we meet you where you're at and we take you where you want to go. Blue Stallion Solutions isn't just a company, it's a movement. Ride with us today.